And here we go, BBoongBBoong against Genius. At the bottom left of the map, on Daybreak, we have in the red color our Zerg for the Prime team.
BBoongBBoong Prime.
And to the top right starts his opponent. It's interesting to note that neither Daybreak nor the first map have been played in the best of 3 that they fought in in the group stage.
Yeah, that's actually a really good stat. Our Protoss player up here at the top right is
MVP Genius.
I would say probably the fan favorite, as well as, I mean, a lot of Zerg players out there right now are frustrated with how Zerg's been doing. So there's a lot of Zerg fans, but I feel like Genius is definitely the player that most people expect to win. I don't even think we got a winner prediction up on the screen. At least I don't remember seeing one, but even so, like I feel like if there was one, it'd probably be at least 70% favorite for Genius, just because he's so much more well known. He's shown great PvZ in the past. He's pioneered the matchup a little bit, showing fake pressure like no one has shown it before, showing Stargate pressure, Void Ray control, defensive Void Rays to control maps. Like his play on Belshire Beach that I saw in Codas last season, I was like, oh my god.
And well, as I said earlier, BBoongBBoong has been struggling a little bit against Protoss, but once again, you see that statistics just indicate current shape of a player, but in the end it comes down to the individual game, and obviously BBoongBBoong prepared very well for this match, and
it's all about the practice, really.
And these players are practicing like crazy for these matches. The GSL has absolute priority for these players, and this is exactly why they are doing their best in order to optimize their builds for their opponent. They train weeks in advance for this matchup, and now we'll see what exactly is going to happen on Daybreak. Will Genius be able to tie the series, or is BBoongBBoong taking it 2-0?
Yeah, if BBoongBBoong takes it 2-0, it's going to be a bit of an upset, I would say. But the thing is, if he does that, the likelihood of Genius getting through the up and down matches is pretty high. So don't think about the same could be said of BBoongBBoong. So if you're a fan of one of these two players, don't think about it as it's the end of the world, but think about it as like a free ride. That's basically what this round of Code A is for. It's like if you lose, you're still in the up and down matches, which is really hard. But if you win, you just get that Codas spot right away. So that's what everyone is fighting for here. Double gas now going down a very normal time for Genius as his Nexus finishes up. The gas for BBoongBBoong, he's actually pulled out at exactly 100, so he's not going to be putting on any sort of aggression. He'll just take a third base. This is the best map to do that on. You don't have to kill rocks to do it.
While we wait for the build orders just to unfold, there's one thing that I want to point out once again. We talked a little bit about it in the past. But guys, the GSTL is coming up again. The Team League is starting very soon. Actually, I think it's in 2 weeks.
Yep.
And it is amazing. So you actually should check out GOMTV.net/tickets if you don't have a pass for the GSTL just yet. Definitely check it out. There are so many matches. It's the best Team League in the entire world. It is insane. The players here, the production value as well. Definitely make sure that you get a pass for the GSTL, because I have to say that I actually prefer... I don't even know if I prefer it, but I enjoy it so much, just the dynamic. We talked about this over and over again, and we've seen it in the last season and the finals in Las Vegas as well. It's just amazing to see those teams fight for the title. GSTL is personally, it's my actually my favorite competition.
Mine as well, and I'm so glad I get to cast with you because you and I love it so much. It's absolutely going to be excellent. Look forward to that. We have 2 new foreign teams coming in, Fnatic.
Oh, that's going to be so great. TLO just arrived, I think just arrived in Korea, and they are all practicing for the GSTL, and it's going to be awesome to see Fnatic and Team Liquid participate in this league.
It's going to be good to see TLO just practicing in Korea in general right now. I think he has a lot of potential. He's been someone who's been a little bit stagnant recently, but he shaved his beard. He's coming to Korea.
It was so funny when he was on stream the first time.
I saw your tweet about that, man, and that's when I was like, I gotta see this. I gotta see what he looks like. And you were right, man. He looked so funny.
He actually replied to me, and he told me, "Oh, well, what are you complaining about? You told me like 1,000 times that I have to shave my beard." And he's right, but he was just so new. He looked like a young version of a Beetle because he didn't get a haircut yet. And he told me, "I need to get a haircut. I know, and I look a little bit like Luke Skywalker right now." That's actually what a lot of people told him, and it's so true.
It's so true. Oh my God.
TLO looked like a young Luke Skywalker, and it was just brilliant. It was so much fun. But well, before we get sidetracked too much,
we're having
just talk about what we're seeing right here.
6 gateway push coming out from Genius with, it's going to be with an Observer, it looks like. Maybe with a Warp Prism as well. I mean, actually, it's definitely going to be with the Warp Prism. This is a very early timing. If he makes an Observer, I mean, yeah, that's cool, but he doesn't need to do that. And yeah, he's definitely going to wait for the Warp Prism. No, going to get an Immortal even first. That's actually... I mean, I guess it works for him, but he needs to be preparing very soon. He needs to already be moving out, making pylons, because his gateways are about to finish. This is really weird. It's like he's going to use this as a fake pressure move and then make a Nexus. Is that what GS is going to do here? I like that better than what we saw from some... I recently cast some MLG qualifiers, saw European players going for Colossi and then taking the third. I really don't like that, but he's definitely not going to be hitting this at the fastest possible timing like it looked like he was going to. He's making a second and Immortal now.
He has a lot of gas at this point, so that's what I was waiting for. The Sentries, he's going for the Immortal push. He has the +1/+1 upgrade, which is usually an indicator that he's doing this type of attack. And he will wait for a third Immortal most likely, and might even push out with the second. I kind of doubt it though. And with all these Sentries, he will be in a good position. But he has to make sure that he is getting the units as well to deal more damage. And look at these. Nice. A few Zerglings able to just get a few force fields, a little bit of energy.
Trade the energy is very good.
And look at BBoongBBoong, how he's preparing. He already has a rough idea what's happening. He's getting a lot of Zerglings. He's getting speed for the Roaches. We have him with the Macro Hatch in his main base, which is very, very important. With all the Queens that he has, this will allow him to switch to Zerglings immediately. And there's the War Prism on 2 Immortals, by the way, not waiting for the third, just getting the War Prism a little bit
I thought he was going to be doing like a lightning fast one of these, but he is going to bring the Immortals, which is, I think, the better way to do it.
Look how well this works out with the +1 armor upgrade. He already has +1 attack, so he's moving out now, getting the forward pylon. And this is a very, very strong attack. BBoongBBoong has to be careful here, even though he knows it's coming. It's very hard to hold off. With all these Sentries, we have 8 in total. There's a ton of force fields, and I guess that he's probably warping additional ones before this happens, but this is a very, very strong attack. BBoongBBoong knows that it's coming though, he knows it's coming.
This attack has been basically spotted. He wants to get the pylon, but he can't. He has to go up the ramp, and oh man, 6 more Stalkers warping in, and BBoongBBoong is out of position. He may get cut off from the retreat path. It looks like he will escape just barely. Force fields being dropped to try to trap him, but it was a really close call here. Warp Prism coming in forward very strong. He has so much energy on these Sentries available to him. He's waiting a little bit though. These 10 Roaches are about to pop.
He has to set up a flank. He can't fight this head-on, not with this many Sentries.
Why is Genius waiting? He's getting 6 more Stalkers out here, but 13 more Roaches are on the way. He doesn't have Blink. I don't know what there is any reason to wait. And now he allows the units past his force field. Genius has totally botched this. And Caldor, I think BBoongBBoong is going to hold this basically no problem here if he continues his Roach production. However,
it's still going to be pretty tough, but he used so many force fields. Genius was apparently just macroing it up in his main base and did not see those Roaches and Zerglings approaching. But if BBoongBBoong sets up a flank here and starts to attack from 2 sides, those Sentries will not have enough energy to force field both sides of the army.
No, they will not. 10 more Roaches about to come out here. He's not going to wait any longer. Those 2 Immortals so important. The Warp Prism ready to potentially lift them. Queen's doing some extra damage. Remember, they do have that additional range, and that does come into play here just a little bit. The trading, though, is so much better for Genius so far. He's darting in now, and the Immortals still doing extra damage. They're both still alive. The drone's coming off the line here as well, and it looks like Genius may just have too much, Caldor.
It looks like he
absolutely does. It's going to be it.
Nice micro here by Genius, but the problem for BBoongBBoong is not setting up a flank, just attacking his opponent head-on and being force-fielded. A huge problem that he had to face here. He never tried to just run past at the natural and get a nice flank. Genius now with a Warp Prism at the front can warp in units straight away, and that's exactly what he's going to do, and he's even rescuing it as the Queens try to target it down, but this is just too much for him to handle, even with the Macro Hatch. There's the GG, as BBoongBBoong just does not have the numbers to compete with Genius Army.
No, he did not. Genius, unpredictable, went for a very fast power-up of his gateways, and then afterwards just simply made the Warp Prism, did the all-in. Most people would have done that a little bit differently, getting the Robo a little bit faster. It was a slight variation on the build that we've seen before, but it was executed exactly the same way, very correctly. And so far, a good day for MVP with Dongre going out 2-0. And now we'll see if Genius can get out to Code S as well. He's 1 game away from doing it, tying things up here at the GSL Code A, our final map.
I'm a little bit surprised, to tell you the truth, about how BBoongBBoong reacted to this. He had a lot of units, as you pointed out, And attacking this head-on is usually something that you don't do.
A lot of his units
try
were not together.
to attack from two sides, force the force fields, go back again. As he did, you try to pull your units back before the force fields can actually capture too many of them. And then with the second wave, you try to crush it. So I was a little bit surprised to see that he was only attacking from one direction.
Yeah, he had a whole second group of units that wasn't fighting with his army. I think he was like, do I send these all the way around to flank? And he was like, not sure. And then he just waited. Then he sent half of his units in, they all died. And he sent his other half in, and they all died. And he was like, I guess Genius wins this game. The final map, though, is going to be Dual Site. A very, very difficult map for Protoss. And a map where Zerg players do oftentimes do all-ins off of 2 base against a Protoss. It's hard to defend, but...
Once again, by the way, sorry to interrupt you here, but it's once again a map that has not been played in the best of 3 match in the group stage. Just as a quick reminder, guys, these maps, they haven't faced each other on these maps recently.
Very true. Now, Genius against BBoongBoong on this map, I think that if BBoongBoong wants to play a straight-up game, he should be able to win here. Based on what he's seen, Genius is really going to have to either make something creative happen here or play his heart out. This is a very, very tough map for Protoss to play on. Taking a third base is difficult for both races, though. We'll see who is going to take the third and final game and advance to Codes here at the GSL Code with Caldor and Wolf.